Gable Painter is an unlikely restorationist with a passion for bringing old homes back to life.
Wow. A remodeler would just go get 4 new columns. To me, that's gross.
Based in Richmond, Virginia, Gable's talent for his craft and his expertise are creating a legacy with every project he does.
That's why we came to you. You're the pro.
There is a new breed of restoration contractors out there, young guys like us.
But the headaches of running a business can get him down.
I mean, you tell me, dude, that this is done, and it's not.
His skills will be put to the test when Gable finishes restoring a turn-of-the-century 2-story house with extensive damage. The road ahead is tough.
Nothing's done right. Everything's screwed up.
But Gable manages to make it all happen.
Yeah. I'm the guy. Everything can be saved. I'm working in historic Jackson Ward on a home that was built in the 1880s. This house is going to need some serious attention to detail, like hardware, windows, and floors. But when it's all said and done, this is going to be another GP restoration success.
Over the past 6 weeks, Gable Painter has been working on an 1880 2-story home in Jackson Ward, which is one of the country's oldest African-American neighborhoods.
I actually feel pretty lucky to be working in Jackson Ward. I feel like I've done every other major historic neighborhood in this town, except for Jackson Ward, so it's just that final notch for me.
The upstairs rooms have been completely restored, but he still has to finish downstairs. Previously, Gable and the homeowner Bill decided what restoration projects they'd focus on downstairs.
Take the windows out here. Now that window, that's in pretty bad shape. Do you want to keep that, or?
Do you think we can work with it?
All right, well, that's not gonna make it. We can replicate this casing, rebuild everything else. Yeah, pretty much no problem.
Thoughts on the floor?
What I would personally like to do is just bring in some new pine that we could stain and have it match up with the original hard pine.
That'd be great.
You've got some awesome door hardware here. I'd love if I had the chance to kind of restore some of that stuff.
That'd be great.
Awesome.
And we've got these transoms over top of the doors that before they had air conditioning here, this is how they were able to get airflow through the property.
I was really surprised to see what condition the transoms were in. They were in really, really exceptional shape, and especially the levers that go along with them. They looked pretty intact and totally functional still.
Downstairs at Jackson Ward, Gable plans to replicate the original window frames and casing, replace and stain the floors, and restore the original hardware. The first thing Gable does is remove the transom hardware so it can be stripped of its paint and restored to its original character.
One of the really cool things about this project in Jackson Ward is the condition of the hardware, especially the transom hardware. You rarely see functional transom hardware still in a house. The purpose of transoms is that it was a way to transfer temperatures from one room to the next, heat from the rooms with fireplaces to flow into a room like this where there is no fireplace. And then in the summertime, you know, you would drop your top sashes, open up the transoms, and just let the air just wisp through the room. It's one of the first forms of climate control. Transoms are a very important part of a historic house, and you know, I don't know why they don't use them more often in new homes. You gotta be real gentle when you're removing these screws. You don't want to strip them, because you strip them, you're in trouble. We're dealing with a lot of layers of paint here. We've got to save this stuff. We got to bring it back to life, make it functional again.
With the transom hardware removed, Gable turns his attention to restoring and replicating the windows.
I'm gonna put Thomas on rebuilding the 3 severely damaged window boxes that we have and restoring those sashes and making those babies work perfect again. Yeah, I think we can make these sashes work for the most part. Fortunately, we have a lot of window experience, and this was probably some of the worst we've ever seen. At least we had the sashes. They were, for some reason, still in great shape with everything around them completely rotten. All right, that's all I had.
I've been building window boxes since I was 3 years old. I love it. Making these boards and all these dimensions custom for these 2 sashes right here.
Our goal is to have 100% salvage rate on these windows. They're very significant to the historic nature of these old houses.
Got a couple more pieces to put in, and then I'll be ready for sticking it right in the wall.
Thomas is ready to install the original windows into their new frames.
This was one of the worst windows. It's had a chance to sand it smooth, get it back to the shape that it was originally, and it'll be ready to put in. Looks good. I'm using a spray adhesive foam to seal all air gaps around this wooden frame. It expands like 3 times its size. It's gonna make a nice airtight seal. Put in the counterweights, which are these pulleys. One of these on each side of the sash counterbalances it, so it's easy to lift it up and pull it back down. That is a $200 window frame. We've got a working window.
On the outside of the house, Gable hires a subcontractor to repair the 130-year-old chimney.
Well, I'm known as the brick doctor on the street. And I knew Gable from a previous job I did for him, and I came over here in Jackson Water area to try to help him to fix this house up that's almost falling down. I had to do the chimneys first, which was in terrible shape.
It's real important you keep the chimney stack covered, replace it if you need to.
And I'd be finished as far as I know.
Coming up, Gable and Thomas finish work on the window boxes.
We're getting her looking hot. She's gonna be styling when we're done.
But a mistake from Pikey could cost them time and money.
Where's that pikey? I will slit somebody's throat.